Purcell. A name, a legacy, a god among men, if you ask me. It's a name that you might have heard recently in the context of the Pixar movies. In fact, he was credited as a co-director in the film Brave, in the end credits of the film Brave. And in fact, the film Brave was actually done in his style, his particular aesthetic style. Specifically, the three twin kids that you saw in that film, the really annoying ones that turn into bears. They are very reminiscent to some of the Steve Purcell's oldest characters, specifically the Rubber Pants Commando, appearing in the Sam and Max Freelance Police comic. Hence, Sam and Max Hit the Road. A game from 1993 developed by LucasArts, under the tutelage of Steve Purcell himself, who just happened to be an employee of LucasArts at the time. He was first a cover box artist. He designed the covers for both The Secret of Monkey Island, Zack McCracken and the Alien Main Benders, and also Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge. So, when you think of the covers of those legendary games, you are thinking of Steve Purcell and his contribution to gaming art. Now let's talk about his contribution to comic book art. Sam and Max Freelance Police was his baby, his creation, and something he had in development since the 1970s, I do believe. The characters themselves, Sam, the McGrath-style Humphrey Bogartian hard-boiled detective with a incredibly rich vocabulary, and his cohorts, Max the Rabbity Thing, whom is known for being a psychopath, but also can use a rather rich vocabulary when he wants to. I am a really big fan of these characters. How big of a fan am I? Well, you saw I have the original game from 1993, but I also have the original paperback of the first legendary underground comic book run of Sam and Max, the incredibly rare paperback, I should say. I have the 1997 animated series in DVD. I have played, of course, all the Telltale Sam and Max Seasons games, and I also happen to have this. A Sam and Max poster with Steve Purcell's original autograph. I believe this should be telling of how much of a fan I am of this dynamic duo. I am the damnest biggest fan alive of Sam and Max Freelance Police. Dang it! And it's all thanks to this game. This game introduced me to Sam and Max, this game made me love the characters, and this, my friends, is, without any shadow of a doubt, my most favorite game of all time. And my favorite point-and-click adventure of all time. With Day of the Tentacle being a really close second. But still a second. I played this one first, so it stuck with me for the vast majority of my childhood. This game is my childhood. I received it from Christmas of 1995 from my father. This one I received it in 1996 later on, and I completed it first because it was actually far easier than this. Not that these two games are really difficult, their difficulty is very fair. And it stimulates your creativity, but not in a Sierra Logic kind of way in which nothing makes sense. That's why LucasArts is better. When you would have me in an argument saying which is better between Sierra and LucasArts, I'd say LucasArts every time, and these two games are the primary reason for that, if you ask me personally. Well, There's also Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which is a great game in its own right, but damn. Now, why do I like Sam & Max? Why do I enjoy their brand of humor? Because it's a really unique brand of humor that it's not for everyone. It's a very specific brand of dark humor that satirizes and pokes fun on modern society, its idiosyncrasies, and its celebration over complete and utter pointlessness. But it does so in a peculiar way. Sam and Max are two zany characters living in an equally zany world, which means for this zany world they are completely normal. Thus, the humor comes less from them being crazy and zany, like the cartoon characters you would think they would be, which they are not. The humor comes from their quips and observations of the insanity that goes around them. And they do so in this casual, indifferent demeanor that seems earnest and not sarcastic. There is a lot of sarcasm in this series, but the sarcasm is not delivered by the main characters, it's not delivered by their lines. The sarcasm is implied, is subtle and nuanced by the specific kind of dark, observational, satirical humor that's employed in their stories. And in fact, their comics, traditionally, they are not traditional comics. They don't have traditional three acts kind of stories. They don't even have stories to speak of. They are basically the two of them going from panel to panel, always commenting and talking about something that they see and react to. And that's how Sam & Max work in a nutshell. They were meant to have proper stories or proper resolutions, rather they are just there to comment on things, to provide a commentary on things, nuanced in its sarcasm and it's poignant in its satirical delivery. Case in point, the fact that they are freelance police, which means basically over-glorified vigilante, already proves the kind of mindset you have to have when approaching the world of Sam & Max. Now, considering all of the humor in this series comes from their observations on things, you'd think they would make for a perfect point-and-click adventure game, in which, as far as adventure games go, one of the things a character in such game would do for the most part is observing things. And in fact, it turns out they are perfect for a point-and-click adventure games. In fact, I dare say they are better in a point-and-click adventure games. If this game and the Telltale games proved anything, is that Sam & Max work at their absolute best in a context in which they are supposed to explore things and talk with other NPCs, with people in general. If you manage to channel all of that type of observational humor and extremely cynical satire, presented in a much more light-hearted manner at times, into a full-fledged narrative inside a point-and-click adventure game scenario, then you got yourself a masterpiece for all ages, and that's exactly what Sam & Max Hit the Road was for me. An absolute masterpiece that defined my childhood and it defined my very own personal sense of humor. Part of it, at least. It's really that good of a game for me, and I am here to showcase it to you in its entirety. So strap your seatbelts, little buddies, we're about to crack this case in the name of justice and unreasonably fattening donuts. That's just something at the top of my head, I'm trying to be said, saying things that in context, out of context, might not make sense, but you get the idea. This is Sam & Max, and we're about to play it. Let's enjoy this, everybody. Sometimes I crack myself up, little buddies. Oh, yes. like acquaintances.
We've only gone out together 3 times, and already you're telling me you just want to be friends? You never gave me a chance, and for that, you'll fry like a pork sausage.
Well, that's what you get when you are engaged with a mad scientist.
You're too nice a guy, I guess. I think I'd rather go out with someone more a bit unpredictable.
Cue the wall-smashing spectacle. Oh, yes.
Hello. This doesn't look like the Lincoln Tunnel, Sam.
Looks to me like a marginally volatile hostage situation, Max.
Ooh, does this mean we get to kick some puffy white mad scientist butt?
Can't think of a reason not to.
You'll be of no use, freelance police. With the flip of a lever, my ungrateful lunch date will be reduced to a half cup of disoriented atomic matter.
That's specific.
I knew he wasn't a real doctor.
Shall I confront, subdue, and pummel the suspected perpetrator, Sam?
Sick him up, little buddy.
Oh!
Ooh! Ow!
Hey, nice one.
Yikes!
Huh?
He's not a real guy, Sam. Can I keep his head?
Of course, all the violence was not really there because it was a robot all along. That was not blood, that was just red liquid.
Let's leave this criminal cesspool pronto.
Good idea, Sam. Maybe we can ditch the head somewhere while the credits are running. Mind if I
Oh, we're being so metatextual right now.
Not if you don't mind me clawing at the dash and shrieking like a cheerleader.
Sam, is pronto a real word?
Goodbye, Sam and
Yes,
Max.
yes it is.
I'll never forget all you've done here today.
Pretty sure you won't, because they left you tied up there. Yep, she's never rescued. We'll never see her ever again. Oh, yes! Here come the pleasantly understated title sequences. And before you ask, yes, I have memorized the entire soundtrack of this game. Yes, I love this game. And I love all the people who worked in it. Thank you, Steve Purcell, for creating this duo. Thank you, Ron Lucier and Ralph Surt, for 3D animating. Thank you, Michael Levine and Jesse Clark, for being our technicians. Thank you, Max, for beating up a clown. That was needed. Thank you, Clint Bajakian, Peter McConnell, etc. for composing this outstanding soundtrack. Thank you for Tamlin Bara. All these names, I forgot how silly they can be. How's my aim? Call 100 Star Wars. Ah, yes. Scum. Scum upgrades by Sean Clark and Mike Stammel. Thank you, guys. Sam and Max Freelance Police, created by Steve Purcell. We are not worthy, Mr. Purcell. Sean Clark and Mike Stammel.
Well, that was a pleasantly understated credit sequence.
That's what I
I
said.
enjoyed the cheesy retro ambiance.
What the hell are you talking about, Max?
Sam, either termites are burrowing through my skull, or one of us is ticking.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Max, where should I put this so it doesn't hurt anyone we know or care about?
Out the window, Sam. There's nothing but strangers out there.
Yep.
I hope there was nobody on that bus.
Nobody we know, at least.
Oh, yes, I got it. No, I got it. I got it. I got it. Sam got it. Max got the window.
Hello? Yes? Yes? Yes. No. Really? Well, the same to you, Mac.
Another confused census taker?
Actually, it was the commissioner with another idiotic and baffling assignment.
Does it involve wanton destruction?
We can only hope. Due to the arbitrarily sensitive nature of the mission, we'll be meeting a bonded city courier out on the street.
Ooh, smells like a fiercely thickening plot.
And you had just a small taste of that particular witty and observational dark humor that defines Sam and Max. It can be really worded, but that's something that we like when the approach is very ironic. Take, for example, a Terry Pratchett novel in which the wording, so to speak, the writing is very prosaic and overprolonged, but that's actually part of the self-aware joke. But anyway, let's talk about the game, shall we? Hey there, little buddies! If you made this far, it means you already saw the pleasantly understated title credit sequence. That's good for you. You already know what kind of case you're going to get in this game. And you saw Max being thrown out of the window. That happened too. Now, unfortunately I have some bad news. There were some technical problems with this particular recording session. Technical problems that have been fixed for the successive gaming sessions, I assure you. But for this particular one, there is one tiny little problem that might be a bit bothering. The cropping, I should say, the aspect ratio of my screen recorder was a bit derped for this gaming session due to several circumstances I won't bore you with. Suffice it to say, you cannot see the lower portion of the screen, of the board of the game. Unfortunately, that's the section in which both the inventory icon and the dialogue boxes are located whenever you start a conversation. And that's a problem because this is the part of the game in which I'm going to explain how the basic tutorial, the basic aspects of the game are going to work. Now, fortunately, I use my editing skills to fix this problem, so at least you can actually see how the dialogue options are going to work out. You just won't be able to see them for the rest of this game because they are partially cut down right at the middle of the space of existence, so to speak. But like I said, the problem is being fixed for the next game session. It just means that the first couple of episodes of this playthrough are going to be a bit derpy in the aspect ratio, for the reasons I explained already. So, sorry for that, but bear with me. I still hope that my commentary, as well as the game itself, shall provide enough entertainment for you to ignore this otherwise glaring problem. So please stick with me until things will get better. Now let's get back to the game. Yes, I really like this humor. It's kind of my type of humor nowadays. This game defined my sense of humor, my darker sense of humor, that is. Now, if you're used to LucasArts games prior to this game, up until Day of the Tentacle, you would have a classic application bar here at the bottom of the screen that would detail all the actions you can take, like walk or talk or pick up. This was the first game to actually ditch the classic action bar here and to have all the actions you need to perform included in the mouse cursor, as you can see. You can actually, you have these SEM fingers here that define here walking. That means you can go somewhere. Then you have the observation skill.
Vertical silverware storage.
Yeah, sure. Then you have the take, pick up object action. And you have the use action, which is, appropriately enough, it depicts some sort of a push-up toy. And there we go. Simple as that. Simple as intuitive, you know. And besides, thanks to the absence of an action bar here, now you can have a more whole visual, yes, visual of the board, which allows to include more details, more background and foreground details that really complete the picture of the game you're seeing. For example, if there were to be an action bar here, you wouldn't be able to see this lovely typewriter machine with a couple of knives that are, as you can see, stabbed across a giant ant. It's the kind of detail that really makes this world alive, come alive, this cynical, messed up world in which those dog and rabbity thing inhabit with complete nonchalance and a healthy side of wanton destruction. So anyway, let's look around, shall we?
We've been through a lot together, this TV and I. My coat hanger antenna. I'm an electronics genius.
I'm sure you are, Sam. There. This does not accomplish much. Oh look, there is a horse and man show. My Little Pony references. Anyway, as you can tell, you are in control of Sam, while Max is actually an NPC that follows you around, and it can actually be used as an object. In fact, if you go to your inventory, which is here at the left side bottom of the screen. Yes, that's where the inventory is. You can see all the action icons, and as you can see,
it's my little buddy, ready for action.
Max is actually considered an item, and there are going to be a few moments in this game in which you will have to use him as an item, which is really fun. Yeah, you cannot use... let's use Max on the mouse hole, see what happens.
I can't use these things together.
Yes, I learned to memorize that sentence so many times when I played this game the first time, at least the Italian version of it, that is. Let's talk to Max.
Are you as confused as I am?
More so.
Alright, this gives us an introduction to the dialogue system, which, for the first and only time, it's not a classic tree dialogue option. This was only used for this particular game.
I'm excited.
Who isn't?
I've got something in my eye.
Try digging it out with a fork. That always works for me.
What should we do now?
I'd like to spend the rest of the day harassing pigeons, but we should probably meet the Commissioner's contact.
We should, shouldn't we?
You're looking hale and hearty, little buddy.
I'm a coffee achiever, Sam.
So I think at this point you might have already figured out what the system at play is here. You have the question icon to ask questions, the exclamation icon to make a statement of some kind, and the duck icon. I think the duck icon is self-explanatory, and the goodbye icon for ending the conversation.
Well, that's all.
Okay, this should do for a beginnings tutorial, so let's actually start doing things.
This phone represents unhindered contact with the outside world.
Until they realize we don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
This is no time for chit-chat.
Of course.
Our primitive answering machine. It's an 8-track.
So old-fashioned.
Nobody's left a message.
Alright, there's an Easter egg with this answering machine. You can receive up until, I believe, 4 or 5 messages. And, you can get to those messages in different ways. Either you go away and get back, or sometimes you actually get a message at the beginning of the game. It's actually randomized, which is nice. It makes for a decent replay value. Oh, look, we have a message. What did I tell you? If you want to see all the messages, basically all you have to do is left the office and go back to the office as many times as it is required. So let's listen to these messages.
Oh boy, we've got a message.
Gee, I hope it's something eerily provocative.
Hey, you're the jerk who sideswiped me on the Queensboro Bridge. Don't think I didn't get a good look at your long, fluffy ears. See you in court.
We may have to go over there and terrify the righteous indignity out of that little fellow.
That was just a taste. There are even funnier.
All our money is invested in that rat hole.
And he means that literally. Yep.
Cash. Never leave home without it.
Yeah, we may need it to bribe slippery government officials.
Or something like that. So yes, they keep their money inside the mouse hole. I can think of anything wrong with that. By the way, here's a little neat trick that you can do while you're holding an inventory item.
It's more money than we'll ever need.
You can actually examine it as it is in your hands, so to speak, by pressing the E key on your keyboard. Nifty, huh? Anyway, there is more to this office that meets the eye, as in, we go a little bit to the right and... oh.
It's Max's roach farm.
Long live Emperor Max, provider of food! I love that.
It's a blacklight that Max uses to illuminate his rare 60s posters.
I mean, look at this level of detail, look at this room. Look, vinyl records, I think they're vinyl records, old boxes, overthrown stool, the typewriter, the freaking dolls with the creepy eyes moving. A bayonetta? It's such an outstanding, amusing level of detail that wouldn't be actually possible to have should we have an action bar covering a quarter of the screen. It was a good idea to remove it. Now we have a more complete visual experience of your favorite PC game. Anyway, let's take this lamp. We're going to be using this for some ridiculous things, as per usual with point-and-click adventure games. So, I think we have all we need to... No, what am I saying? I know we have all we need from this office. We don't actually need to come back here ever again. But... you know, just for completion's sakes.
Oh boy, we've got a message.
Oh boy.
Gee, I hope it's something eerily provocative.
Hi, I'm calling about your upcoming auction of confiscated automatic weapons. Do you sell to convicted felons?
Hey, who are we to discriminate?
Am I right? Anyway.
This is pretty damn self-explanatory.
Okay. Here, see, this is a nice detail. You can actually switch off the light before you leave. Okay, I'm showing you a couple of messages. There are at least 3 more, but you know what? You can discover them for yourself. This is a game that has a lot of replay value. I mean, as far as point-and-click adventure game go. This is so nostalgic.
Stairs.
Huh. Let's go there.
We don't go upstairs.
Not since the accident.
Ah yes, the accident. I remember that as it were yesterday. It involved a couple of guys dressed in black, an angry woman, and a rocket launcher. Ah, those were the days. Okay, let's go to our... Everything is normal.
So, you want a piece of me, huh? Well, take a piece of this.
Well then.
Brutal.
But very true to life.
And here's one for your old man. I really respect Flint's business acumen.
Please, Sam, don't use the word acumen again.
Ah yes, Flint Paper. You don't actually see the guy in this game, you actually see him in the Telltale games years down the line, but the guy was actually a recurrent character in the original Sam & Max comics. He is Flint Paper, the private dick, and it's pretty much the only human being in the planet that Sam and Max respect. well, Sam admires and respects, and Max pretty much likes him because of the wanton destruction and violence. That's pretty much... I think he even wrote a fanfiction about him and Flint Paper at some point.
Guess he had it coming to him.
Can we talk to him?
I can't talk to that.
Apparently he's a death, so no. Well, we can't very well leave him hanging there now, can we?
Gratuitous acts of senseless violence are my forte.
You're such an adorable urchin, Max.
Yep. So yes, this is the kind of humor you have to expect in this game. Very dark, very anarchist, very not child-friendly. Anyway, I'm going to show you another little, quick little, nice little Easter egg right now. Here's what happens when you want Sam to take things that he cannot actually take.
I can't pick that up.
And you insist.
No, really, I can't pick that up.
What, you can't pick the stairs banister? How lazy.
Are you dense? I can't pick that up.
Maybe I am dense, so what are you gonna do about it?
Read my lips. I can't pick that up. I give up.
Now you've done it. You've broken Sam's spirit with your stupid attempts to pick up that silly object. In fact, if I didn't find his pitiful sobbing so amusing, I'd come out there and rip your limbs off.
Well, that's not nice. I mean, okay, it's Max, so yeah, that actually is nice for him. Anyway, let's go out in the streets. Smiley face. Okay, I could seriously go on the entire day. Did I mention this is my favorite game? Anyway, let's take a look around, because, oh wow, look at all the details here. I mean, the blood stain on the pedestrian walk, and the drunken pigeons. This is such an true to life, I want to say, depiction of the lower common denominators streets you'd find in New York, for example. It really depicts the sort of underhanded and actually left to rot part of any city in the world, really. It's almost like the board itself serves as a poignant social commentary without the game never actually acknowledging it. It's there for you to pick up on your own. That's subtle and brilliant game design, if you ask me.
Soiled office space available. No way.
Yes.
Vehicles will be stolen.
I'm pretty sure this sign pretty much summarizes the entire feel of this board. Oh look at this suspiciously large-headed kitten. I wonder if he's the guy we had to meet. I wouldn't know that.
Oh, it's a cute little hypercephalic kitten.
I am repulsed by his bulging eyes.
Let's talk to him.
Hey there, little fella.
You talking to me?
A talking cat?
It's times like this that make me want to lash out against a cruel world.
Funny, I feel like that all the time.
You must be the freelance police.
Yes, but don't go blabbing it to everybody.
I think he's kind of cute, Sam. Can I make a tennis racket out of him?
Maybe later, Max. Right now, we've got a message from the commissioner to collect.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, guys. I swallowed your orders for safekeeping. But now I can't seem to hawk them back up.
Okay, so you have unique conversation starters when you start a conversation with someone for the very first time that you will never come across ever again.
I won't pick that kitten up. I don't know where he's been.
Okay, so as you can see, the puzzle is that he has the orders we need for our first and only mission of this game stuck inside this little body. So how can we ever get those orders out? I'll show you how. Hehehe.
I just love to turn this guy inside out.
Ooh, that gives me an idea.
Wow.
According to these orders, something bizarre is happening at the carnival.
I thought that was the whole point.
Maybe we should check it out when we got nothing better to do, like any time. It's our orders from the commissioner, telling us to hightail it down to the carnival.
Alright. So, as you can see, Max can be used in very specific moments in this particular game. And the game will give you hints if you pursue another conversation topic with that cat. A really obvious hint, but for the sake of time-savingness, I'll just get to the point. Which, ironically, is the exact opposite I've been doing in this playthrough, because I really like this game and I want to show it to you in every inch and nook and cranny that composes it. For example, take a listen to this soundtrack. I love it. The entire soundtrack of this game is this fancy composition and combination of swing, jazz, and rhythm and blues that really accompanies the life journey in this crazy, bizarre world of Sam and Max. It gives it a dimension that really frames the bizarreness and the insanity that for these two characters is complete average normalcy. It's really good, it's what I'm saying, so let's look around a little bit.
Just a bunch of intoxicated pigeons. I don't speak pigeon.
That's weird, because later on you will try to speak cat, but that's an Easter egg for another episode.
I have no use for pigeons.
Maybe Max does.
Nah, Max would just see how many of them he could stuff into his gaping maw.
It is a huge gaping maw.
Bosco's guns, liquor, baby needs.
Ah yes, of course, the three things you sell together. Guns, liquor and baby needs. Just... Alright, you remember Bosco from the Telltale games with all probability. In there he was a paranoid guy obsessed with conspiracies. In here we don't see Bosco, but we get to have a cute little scene.
I see that old Mr. Bosco's generously giving away his profits to the underprivileged ski mask wearing youth of the neighborhood again.
Oh, he's been robbed. That commentary. You have to love Sam's witty commentary drenched in casual indifference. So, yes, in this game, Bosco is an old man, apparently, but in the newer games, the Telltale games, Bosco is not really that old. Anyway, let's go in.
Hey, I don't think Mr. Bosco's voluntarily giving away his money.
No way!
I'm real terrified. A dog and a rabbit. Ooh, scary.
Max, the smart-ass kid doesn't think we're scary. What do you think about that?
Whoa!
That's telling him, little buddy.
I think that punk learned a valuable lesson, Sam.
Me too, Max. I didn't realize that the lower lip could stretch completely over the head. Amazing.
I love you guys. Never change.
Really bad food.
Well, at least it's honest.
Somebody's been ripping off the U.S. Postal Service.
Literally. Look at all this mail in the streets.
Steal the mail? Are you nuts?
I don't know. You are a talking dog, so maybe I am nuts and I'm imagining this whole game. Ah, the DeSoto, the best car in the world.
I love this car.
You're a sick puppy, Sam.
Anyway, This car can literally travel in any part of the world or even any part of the universe, even to the moon. It can travel to the moon in the span of one exchange of a panel, if you're going with the comic books logic. I mean, one panel they are in their office, the next panel they are immediately in the Philippines, saying, well, Max, here we are in the Philippines. That actually happens, that's so nice. The way the DeSoto is applied as a gameplay feature in this game is actually really brilliant. So let's actually go somewhere, shall we? Oh!
Hey! You're the one who cut me off on Highway 364! You're a jerk! So there!